Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another relationship advice video. And this post is a little long and it's looking crazy too. But anyways, looks like got some racist parents-in-law. So I'm like, bruh. Um dang man, that's messed up. But anyways, let's go ahead and read this because it's a pretty long post. So my fiance the guy it's a guy that's writing this, and there's like his fiance told me that my parents so hold on for a sec. I need a drink real quick. So they said my fiance told me that my parents are saying incredible racist things to her when I am not around because they don't want black grandchildren. Wow. If this ain't some freaking Queen, Megan, Prince, what's all that stuff going on right now? And they were on Oprah not too long ago. Fam, like, is this it? Like, is that like the Megan girl? And then what's the dude's name? Prince Harry? Is it Prince Harry or Prince? Who is it? Prince Harry? Prince Harry. Okay, so yeah, that's who the guy. Okay, so yeah, I'm like, this is some Prince Harry and Meghan stuff right now. Dang, that's wild. But anyways, so they said, hello everyone. I am writing this to figure out what to do or who to believe in this situation. Let me start out by saying, well, see, that's the thing though. I'm like, why would somebody try to turn my parents against me? I'm like, because I'm like, okay, I just feel like something like that you don't just come out and say. And I definitely would confront my parents and ask them, like, hey, like, are you saying some racist things to this woman? Because I'm like, she ain't did nothing to you. So, like, whatever stuff you guys got in your mind, that gotta go. I'm like, that gotta go. Because it's like, I'm all like, okay, fiance, we talking kids and all that stuff. Yeah, something gonna happen between the both of us, all right? And I'm like, yeah, that type of stuff, that's gonna have to stop. So, but anyways, let me start by saying that I am white, and my lovely fiance is a black woman. We have an amazing relationship, and I don't want any other woman in my life. She is also the only black woman I have ever dated. That's cool. That's cool. I hope it works out too. But anyways, my parents have always been supportive of me, and I have an incredibly strong family relationship with them and my siblings, or at least I thought. When I was growing up in the Midwest, there weren't really black people around. On the topic of racism, never came up really. But I never suspected that my lovely, outgoing, polite parents would be racist because they even donated money to an orphanage in Africa for like 20 years now through their church. Well, then that's why I'm like, what is happening? I'm confused. So you got you got freaking parents of the year donating money to orphanages in Africa and stuff, and then you got your black fiance saying that they're racist. What? I'm like, bro, I am confused. Oh wow, like that Twilight Zone music has officially started in my head because I'm like, who do you trust now? And I'm like, dang, that's wild. All right, so maybe it might be a situation where it's like, I don't know, the fiance might be like massively obsessed with you and she wants you all to herself, but you love your parents. Like, who are you to love your parents? The people that raised you, the people that birthed you and made you to the man that you are today. Yeah, why would you love those people? They're good crazy, right? But anyways, my parents met my fiance a year ago, but did not take it seriously because I had a lot of girlfriends in the past, and they probably just thought it was another girlfriend. Oh, well, that could be the case. It's probably like not well. I don't. All right, let's continue reading. Before I jump to conclusions and stuff. But anyways, so they say, well, last weekend I announced to them my girlfriend was now my fiance on a family Zoom meeting. My parents looked a little surprised because I did not discuss it with them before, but were ultimately congratulating me. Oh, okay, cool. We wanted to have dinner with them in person to sort of let them get to know their future daughter-in-law, and everything blew up. My mom forgot something for her dinner, and my dad and I went to the store to get it. My fiance texted me about 10 minutes in and asked me to come back right away because she needed me, and my dad and I turned around. When I got back, she was sitting in my car. I still had the keys, and she was crying and asking me to take her to our house. Of course, I drove her home and told my parents I was sorry. My fiance told me what my mom had said to her. Essentially, my fiance told me that my mom said she was not supportive of us because she didn't want black grandchildren. Well, wow, dang, that's crazy. If she actually did say that, I'm all like, well, guess what? I'm all like, this is your grandson, Daquan. Okay, well, I'm like, all right, I wouldn't say all that, but I'm like, that's crazy though. I guess like me, if I was in a situation like that where I'm like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I'm like, hey, look, like, me and your daughter, like, we're in love, okay, and we do plan on having a family and all of that. I'm sorry, I couldn't have been any other race, but I'm like, I kind of love being black. It's a cool thing at times. Like, it's just something about being black. It's like it's really cool. So I'm like, I don't see why it's a problem. Like, this is how I was born. Like, even when I was like, yeah, freaking 9 months in my mom's stomach, it's like there was no stopping it. Like, black dad, black mom, black son. Like, what did you really expect to happen? Like, so I'm like, I'm sorry that I had to fall in love with your daughter, but I'm like, that's just, hey, that's life. So, all right, so that's crazy. So a number of other things that she was surprised. A number of other things that she was surprised. My fiance married. Even though I think my fiance is better looking than me, but I'm a bit more successful financially. Well, I confronted my mom and asked what she said, and my mom said that she said nothing even close to that, and that the only thing she said was that she was curious what country my wife was ethnically from, and that my fiance mistook it. Well, I asked my fiance more probing questions, but she is adamant that my mom explicitly said these things. Well, dang, like, who do you like, honestly? Because you want to believe your mom, and then it's like you want to believe like your future wife, but it's like in a situation like that, it's like, dang, like, what happened? Like, that's where it's like, you gotta like sit them down together and be like, okay, like, we need to get everything out in the air and stuff. Because I'm like, look, there ain't gonna be no like back like, behind my back racism going on and stuff. That ain't gonna slide. You ain't gonna put my future wife in an uncomfortable situation. Because it's like, if I want to spend the rest of my life with this woman, I want to do that. So my thing is like, I'm not trying to get that ruined or anything. I'm like, no, like that ain't cool. So anyways, I've never known either of them to be liars, but the two people I trust most in this world are giving me completely conflicting stories. I want to side with my wife, but what if she is having some mental episode or something? Is it possibility that no one is lying here? I need some help. Edit. It could be also a mental episode of my mom, maybe, but neither have mental issues, but that can pop up in people's 20s, like my uncle. So I just said my fiance might have a mental episode. Sorry for the confusion. All right, so in a situation like this, you just abandon ship, move out of the country, change your name, change your opinion. Okay, don't do all that. But anyways, dang, man, like, who do you believe in a situation like that? Because it's like, okay, you want to believe your mom because that's your mom. Like, that's, that's like number one on the list. That's like number one single, Billboard, top, number one, all of that, okay? And then your wife, she's like, she's rising, she's number two, all right? And then my thing is, like, after that, it's like, it's just dang, but it's like, it ain't even like really a number two situation, but it's like still like they're both like number one in their own categories and stuff. So that's why it's like, dang, man, like that's a hard thing. I need help on this. But no, definitely I would sit them down and have them like all in the same room to discuss things and talk about stuff, because I do know people that will make it seem like that you said something when in reality that you didn't. And so it could be a situation like that. And it could be a situation where the person is lying and overall like talking about your mom, where she did say something, but she's like, oh, I don't want to push my baby boy away and have him all upset at me. So of course I'm not going to tell him what I said. But like, dang, like that's why I'm like, yeah, it's best to sit them down, have them talk things out. and just be like, I'm gonna say my opening statement, my wife's gonna say her opening statement, and then mama's for last. I'm like, then she's gonna say her opening statement, and we gonna just discuss. And I guess dad's gonna have to be the judge. But I'm like, look, this case got to get solved, because I'm like, we can't be like 10, 20 years down the road and then y'all still carrying on like this and things. So yeah, it's like that situation. I'm like, that's gonna have to like just stop, because I'm like, now it's like in a situation, yeah, it's gonna be awkward forever. Like, that's why I'm like, you can't go over the like family get-togethers. You can't, like, no, it's like, so that stuff has to be solved right then and there. I'm like, okay, if you got like any things in your like chest where it's like, oh, because my thing is like, talking on the mom, because it's like, you did say that she's been donating to like African like orphans like for years and stuff. So that's cool. But then at some point in time, there's probably this loud black man that was driving some sort of car and cut her off in the middle of the road. She tried to say something. He said "F you," and I'm like, then it's I'm just cleaning for the kids and stuff. But I'm just saying, she probably came across, because no, there was that one situation with Liam Neeson, and he came out and said that it was a friend of his had got attacked by a black man, and then he said he was going out looking for black people to kill, or looking for that man to kill. So it could be a situation like that where it's all like, she loved black people every single day of her life. Then there was that one black person that got on her nerves, and now she's just all like, she done took Black Lives Matter out of her bio. She done, like, she done stopped donating to that orphanage in Africa. What else? Yeah, and she's like, I'm done with black people. And then it could be a situation where your wife, she's like, the mom didn't say anything racist, and she's like, I'm just gonna put words in her mouth and make it seem like she did, even though she really didn't. So it's like, yeah, in a situation like that, where it's like, I just think people just need to sit down, have a discussion, talk about things, and work things out, and hope and pray for the best. Because I'm like, I wouldn't want to be 10, 20 years down the road, or however long down the road, and then it's just still like awkward and fire between y'all two. And I'm like, please, guys, just stop. I'm like, I can't deal with this, all right? So anyways, but yeah, sit down, have a discussion with them, and try to just solve everything right then and there. And if stuff can't be solved, then hey, just keep trying. I'm like, just keep trying until things are solved. Because it's like, I think once when they see how hard you're trying to like work things out between them, then it's like, okay, well, we're gonna have to work things out, all right, for his sake. Because this boy, he's like, this man gonna mess around, and he gonna be put in an early coffin, fooling around with y'all two. So, all right, so anyways, yeah. That's crazy. But anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and peace.